Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. We're in the full of February already. And one of the things that I thought would be great would be, hey, let's have a little discussion about increasing salary. Of course, a lot of my posts around lately have been around how do you increase your income? Well, one of the first ways you can do that is by just simply increasing the salary that you have. The reason why I do want you to get extra income, I do want you to have businesses, I do want you to go do extra work, side hustles, all those different types of things. But one of the things that you can do to quickly turn around your income is increase the salary that you have, because likely that's where maximum your most valuable skill set is. And today I want to talk about a few ways that can help you increase your income, but definitely stay on to the end because I have a little gift for you with that one, with trying to increase your income. So the first thing you want to do is, have you ever felt like, hey, I'm not really making as much as I should be? Well, in science, you always have to prove a theory, right? So I want you to go prove that theory. Talk to peers. Talk to people in your current job. Talk to search the internet. Run comps like you would a house, or see what your job is paying in the open market. It's never typically going to be exact, but the point is it's going to give you a good gauge of, hey, this is what the average person is making in this role, in this title, with your years of experience. And if you know that information, and if once that comes back to you, salary.com, Glassdoor, pay scale, even though, again, I don't want you to think this is spot on, but I do want you to have an indication of, okay, if the job is paying 65 with salary and bonus, am I making 65? Or maybe you're only making 50. That would tend for me to think there's an indication that, hey, I might be underpaid. Second thing I want you to look at is look at just your regular pay scale for your job. A lot of jobs, some jobs post a pay scale, but likely if you're internal, they'll post this pay scale. And so you can go look at this, how much I make, and this is the scale. Where am I on that current scale? Now, if you've been doing the job for a little bit and you've kind of proved out through experience after experience, hey, I have experience in the role. So if you have experience in the role, you should be towards the mid to the high range rather than entry level. Entry level is typically you have very little to no experience. That's the bottom range. That's how you want to evaluate that. The next thing I want you to think about is, what are you willing to do in order to be compensated fairly? So if you're not really willing to leave your job and there are other intangibles that you prefer with that particular employer, then your argument is going to be limited, because understand that every employer, they can't just jump you $20,000, $30,000 when you would like. So I would encourage you really think about what are you willing to do to actually ensure that you're compensated fairly. The next thing, when you're thinking about increasing your income, you made that decision, hey, I think it may be time for me to pursue options outside of my employer. Now you get your resume together, you start the interview process, you try to get as many options, but you have the data for what job you're looking for and about what that should pay. So discussion when you come into a job and when you want to discuss, hey, how can I increase my income and how can I make sure I'm compensated fairly? Well, first you have to go in with some basis, right? So you use that same methodology for the job that you're applying once you get to that point. But we don't usually get to talk pay until the last, right? No, they actually ask you pay typically in that first conversation. And why? Because they're trying to level set the conversation for expectations to build up to what they know they're probably going to offer. That can be a tumultuous time, and it can be an easy point, because you can also use that as a springboard. When someone asks you what was your salary considerations, you can give them a number. You can give them a range. But then you can also tell them, hey, I would really like to focus on the role and see if we have a mutual fit. But I would appreciate any range that you can share for the role. That way you are aware of what that job is paying salary-wise for that range. And it's important when you're thinking about negotiation that you understand and think about the language. Listen to the words that I'm using. Those are the words that you want to use. Why? Because they're easy, digestible, and they do convey the point of this is what I would like for my salary. The second thing after you've kind of laid that groundwork and whether or not they give you that range, you want to then pay attention throughout the interview. You need to find out why this role is important. What are the pain points? And be able to complement your skills and experience to the pain points, not just in the interview, but when you get to negotiation. Because the thing is, anytime you can say, hey, well, I understand this about the role. I understand this about the role. I've done these things already. I have X amount of experience and I've excelled in those things. This is why I'm asking you to pay X. It's a lot easier to have that conversation because you know what they're looking for. And they can't necessarily change what they're looking for when you give them back the information they gave you. Because if it was different, they should have given you different information. I would then encourage you, once you get to that next and last stage, think about your compensation as a total comprehensive compensation conversation. Total compensation. That means we're talking salary, we're talking bonus, we're talking equity, meaning stocks, 401k, all those things. You add all those things and it unfortunately does give you a number. And if you're trying to get a number for totality, because a lot of people were going off a salary, but if you're trying to go for a number, you want to consider, well, how much are your benefits? Am I paying more for benefits here than I was there? Is the benefits better quality here, same price? That's a factor. Is there 401k? Were you at a person that was giving you 6% 401k match? Is this person now giving you 8 or 10%? That's a factor. All these things are factors that add up. Bonus. What percentage bonus are you used to? What percentage bonus are you now receiving? Were you getting 10 or 12%? Now are you bonusing monthly? Are you getting 15%? And then one of the last ways, sign-on bonus. In this market, in this very competitive market, it's important to understand that with unemployment at 3.9%, everyone is desperate. And especially during this time of the market, because everyone expects that you have a bonus, but bonus, merit increases, all those things are happening. That's industry-wide known. But the fact is, no matter what time you leave a job throughout the year, no one truly knows your job situation or reality. And the fact is, you are typically leaving some sort of equity, and that needs to have consideration so that when you speak, that equity is considered. So they don't just give you the salary you asked for and bypass what you are leaving on the table. That's important in this discussion. So now you get to the point of, hey, I'm ready to give you an update. The recruiter says, I want to give you an update. And the update is, hey, we do have an offer for you. This is our offer. I always start the conversation with thank you. Thank you for this opportunity to speak with your team. I've enjoyed it. It's something I look forward to, and I'm glad you guys found some value in me to extend an offer. I would like to say, based on my conversations and based on what the research I've done, because you've gone and searched the market for what's the salary, bonus, average, all those different types of things, I would feel more comfortable based off my skills and education and experience to be at X. And for me, I've transitioned to where I get as specific. I mean, I'm giving a number 107,655. I'm giving it all the way down. Why? Because once I've laid out my specific responses, this is just my preference, but once I've laid out my specific responses, I've given a specific answer. It's, if you're not going to get to this number, now we need to discuss. And that is how I propose my number. Now, once they say, hey, I would like to go back, cool. Before you let them go back, discuss, in addition to, I will be transitioning this employer and I will be leaving some equity in order to meet your proposed tentative date of start. Is there an opportunity for you to help with this equity that I'm leaving? And typically that's the form of discussion that leads to the sign-on. Now understand everyone has different sign-on capabilities. Different jobs allow different things. But you need to know and be prepared. What's a fair sign-on? If you're truly leaving things on the table, what does that look like? If you can't necessarily figure out, okay, what would be a good sign-on, look at the last bonus you received. If you receive your bonus yearly. If you receive it monthly, add up the bonus for the year. Look at these options based off where you are in the year. But look at all these things and make that a part of your discussion, because when they come back, one of the worst things for me and even for the recruiter is you're going back and forth just to get nailed down the offer. Make it one solid, hey, this is where I want my salary to be. This is where I want the sign on, given all the benefits and everything that you all guys offer. This is where I want the sign on to be. Allow them to go back and allow them to work to come with their final counter offer, but their final and best offer. And if you do those things, and if you get in the habit of going through that process, I will say, is intimidating. This whole hiring process is intimidating. But one of the things I would encourage you to do is, before you start talking salary, really think about, in your day-to-day life, how can you practice your negotiation? And I know this seems simple the way I'm discussing, but you got to understand, I've been doing this for years. I've been on both sides of the table. I've hired people. I've let people go. I've been in negotiations. I know what's fair. And obviously, because I'm heavily into money and I love this stuff, that I go do the research for any candidate and ensure that they're compensated fairly, that would come to be under my leadership. But I know this could be tough. And that's why I said I had a gift for you. So I have a colleague that's going to come Tuesday called the Master Negotiator. And you can check her out on LinkedIn and you can look her up and we'll definitely get her information out. But she works with women to help them build the skills. And this lady has taught and educated and done seminars and spoken all over. And she's been really gracious to me, especially in the wake of that tweet that kind of went viral, to come and speak to you to help you start to develop the skills. Because again, you're not going to solve this problem and listen to one podcast. I listen to things rigorously to develop the skill. Listening and then practice. Listen and practice. And so once you get to that piece, you learn how to get better. So I'm going to have a professional expert come in, and she, throughout her course of time of teaching people, to help people negotiate over $5 million in salary increases and all that stuff. But the second thing about her is she has a heart and a passion for the wealth gap and wage transparency. And I thought that would make her a good fit to help support you guys on this road. And I want to be there to support you. So how can I help? What are things that I need from you? If you're watching this, cause I will post it to YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. My name is Jonathan. We want to help you increase your income. We want to help you increase your credit score. We want you to get the information so that you can start investing and really stay invested. But here in that Money Talks group, that's where the live action happens. I need you guys to be vigilant about inviting your friends and family to the group. Please invite your friends and family to the group, especially if you know somebody who's looking for a job, if you know someone that never really knew how to qualify their job or anything like that. Please invite them to the group. If you know someone, and to be honest, 8 out of 10 people are living paycheck to paycheck, so it's highly probable that people around you need support. So invite your friends to the group. That's what I ask. That's my ask. Invite your friends to the group. And before I leave, the last thing, I can't remiss, I have Mr. Anthony O'Neill tomorrow. Hope you guys will be there. As if you can't already tell, I've listed all the upcoming lives in the event space so you can see what's coming. Typically, they're who's going to be here. But the point is, I'm trying to get you what you need. Information and questions that you don't know. If you don't know, it's not that you don't want to know the answer or anything like that. The fact is, oftentimes you don't know what question to ask. You don't know what you don't know. And that's what I'm trying to help you fill the gap is, so you're aware of your options, you're prepared for when that option comes, and you maximize the opportunity. Guys, I hope to see you soon. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Like this video, share it if you can. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and invite your friends to the group. All those things are free, by the way. So I can't wait to see you guys in the next video.